Hi, this is Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to read the emails from February 24th, 2018, the initial incident that instigated this entire nightmare. I think it's important that I read the email that I sent to the resident coordinators at approximately 6:30 p.m. on that Saturday, February 24th, 2018, because at that point I had no inkling as to what was to come. I was simply letting the RCs of the Hall of Graduate Studies know that I had been verbally attacked in my room that evening by a group of presumed Yale students, and I was asking them not to allow whomever had made use of the 12th floor common room that evening to use it any longer because of their behavior. I had no clue as to the nightmare that was to follow. I also had no idea at that point that the behavior of the presumed Yale students who had been terrorizing me that evening was motivated by racism. I thought that they were simply upset that I had phoned the non-emergency helpline of the Yale campus police. Okay, excuse me, let me go ahead and read the emails. All right. So the subject line of the email is, I had a negative experience I have to relate to you, unfortunately. It was sent on Saturday, February 24th, 2018 at 6:28 p.m. and it was sent to the Hall of Graduate Studies resident coordinators. It reads, to the HGS resident coordinators. I'm so sorry, guys, but I have to ask that whichever persons or organization were holding an event in the common room on the 12th floor of the tower tonight, please don't allow them to hold events in there any longer. Their behavior this evening was disgusting. I had an unfortunate experience. I have been especially cognizant of my personal safety with respect to access to my room in HGS 1201, since an HGS staff member was entering my room unauthorized and hanging out by my room on the 12th floor of the tower, waiting for me to enter and leave. Today, around 5 p.m. I think, a man entered the tower elevator behind me. It was just the two of us. I waited for him to use his key to operate the elevator, but it was clear that he was waiting for me to use mine. I felt a bit uncomfortable, but I went ahead and used my key and pressed 12 for my floor. Then I asked him which floor he needed, and he said 12. Obviously, I became concerned, but I decided not to panic. I thought that maybe he was making use of the common room on the 12th floor, the only other room on the 12th floor, of course. But when we exited the elevator, I waited a moment before entering my room so that he could make his way into the common room. But he didn't. He just stood there like he was waiting for me to enter my room. Obviously, I wasn't going to enter my room. I didn't panic. I walked down the steps to the 11th floor. I went into the side stairway, and I walked slowly back up to the 12th floor. From the side stairway, I entered the common room. There was no one in there, so clearly it was not being used. I hoped that the man had left. I exited the common room, and I didn't see him on the landing, so I approached my door, but then he called out to me. He was on the landing between the 12th and 11th floors. He asked me where the common room was. I told him that no one was in there, and that he needed to be a resident and have a key to get in there, and that if he wasn't supposed to be there, that he needed to leave because he was making me very nervous. He told me that he was a student. I told him it didn't matter. You can't get into the common room without a key, and to please leave. I entered my room and called the Yale police and told them what happened. I told them that I wasn't sure if I really needed their assistance or no, but they said that they would stop by just in case. I assumed that the police came by and spoke with whomever ended up using the common room because a group of persons shortly thereafter stood outside my door, laughing uproariously and saying, "Are we making you nervous? Oh, hell no, she's going to call the cops on us." I can only assume that these were the people who had arranged to use the common room this late afternoon. I find their behavior egregiously unacceptable, and I ask you to not allow them to use the common room any longer. I cannot even believe that they would do what they did, and I refuse to apologize for being concerned for my personal safety. Thank you for reading this email and for your attention to this matter. All best, Braasch. Okay, so then that was sent at 6:28 p.m. I did not receive a reply until 10:05 p.m. And this is the reply I received from the resident coordinators of the Hall of Graduate Studies. Good evening, Sarah. Thank you for bringing this serious issue to our attention. We managed to speak to the policeman that came in, the suspicious character looking for the common room, who, by the way, was a student, and the resident that invited him. There will be a housing office meeting happening at HGS on Thursday, the 1st of March at 7 p.m. The meeting will be an info session for next semester's housing plans, but there will be 2 of the housing office managers CC'd in this email present. We would encourage you to come and share what happened then so that we can find a way forward. Regards, Grant and Esther. I was very taken aback by this email. My honest impression of it, which was also the honest impression of the Yale housing managers, was that they were insinuating that I had done something wrong. And then subsequently, when I would finally meet with the Yale housing managers, they told me that they were very upset with the way that the resident coordinators had handled the situation that evening, and that the resident coordinators would be reprimanded. Anyway, so just a few moments thereafter, at 10:12 p.m. on Saturday, February 24th, 2018, one of the Yale housing managers who had been copied on the prior email responded, and she said, "Hi, Sarah. I'm so terribly sorry to hear of this incident. Please let's meet before Thursday to discuss. I don't think this can wait that long. Let me know your availability for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Thanks, Beth." And then, just a few moments thereafter, I responded, "Hi, Beth. I could pop by your office. Are you still in Helen Hadley Hall on Monday afternoon around 2:30ish or any time thereafter? Thanks so much for taking this seriously. I have no way of knowing if it's the same people, but people hold noisy late-night parties in 1200 not infrequently, and I usually just try to ignore them. We might as well go ahead and address that issue at the same time. I was planning on coming on Thursday anyway to discuss my plans for next year. It's my fault. I should have just gotten out of the elevator to begin with, but I'm always so afraid of hurting others' feelings that I put myself in bad situations. Thanks so much. Best, Sarah." And then I sent one more email to everyone the following day on Sunday, February 25th, before I was to meet with the Yale housing managers on Monday, February 26th. But on Sunday, February 25th, I sent this email. It reads, "Hi, everybody. The people who held the party last night, I assume that this was them, left all of their trash thrown everywhere on the 11th floor landing, and the entire hallway reeks to high heaven. This is also not an uncommon occurrence, especially on the weekends. Can we please implement a throw-out your own trash policy instead of leaving it in the hallway for the nearby residents to enjoy over the weekend each weekend? Thanks so much. Another item for discussion on Thursday. Best, Sarah." So you can see how ridiculous, just ludicrous and asinine it is that my attackers were motivated by this. That's it. That's it. That's why my attackers perpetrated a hate crime hoax against me. That's why my attackers waged a months-long campaign to try to destroy my life and get me expelled from Yale. That's it. That's what happened. That's what happened. And those are the actual emails that were sent that weekend regarding the incident. Anyway, thank you so much for spending this time with me.